Hello, everybody, and welcome to LA Dodger Report. There's no game today, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to talk about with our Dodgers. First off the bat, how about them Dodgers? Are they off the hook or what? Is this team crazy magic or what? Another sweep of the Minnesota Twins and the Dodger come from behind kids, different hero every night team did it once again. So, right on Dodgers. We're all feeling very good. Almost sorry to have a day off because I don't want those guys to cool off. But I suppose a rest is a good thing. Now, I do want to talk about one particular Dodger today, and that's our boy Yasiel Puig, who's tearing it up. Did you see him last night? He hit his 19th home run last night, which tied his career high for home runs, which he hadn't matched since his rookie season. So right on Yasiel, it's only July, and he's already matched his career high. So that's great. And did you see him when he came off the field after the home run? And he went down into the Dodgers dugout and he hugged one man in particular, batting coach Turner Ward. This guy is the magic key that opened up Yasiel Puig to be the player that he is today. And Turner Ward really deserved those hugs and kisses that Yasiel gave him. If you didn't see them, look it up, man. It's crazy. He's hugging his coach and he's trying to kiss him on the cheek. It was pretty funny. But also very telling of the relationship between player and coach, and a player that recognizes what his coach has done for him and realizes all that hard work coming to fruition. Now, if you remember, last video I talked about the fact that Puig's potential was always way up here, but he was kind of hovering around here and never really reaching it. Defensively, yes, he'd crack off a number of plays that would just blow your mind in the outfield. But Puig was always subpar in the batting. He was always falling victim to that low and outside pitch that he would chase, and he had difficulty hitting fastballs. As a matter of fact, I read a thing today that said Yasiel was batting less than 200 with fastballs in the strike zone. So figure that out. Well, enter Turner Ward. Last year, Ward came on as the hitting coach, and he realized, he saw the potential in Yasiel, and he saw what needed to be worked on, what needed to be changed, and what could remain. The key being what could remain was Yasiel's personality and letting him be himself. In my opinion, this is the key. I think Yasiel had a lot of trouble during the Mattingly years because Mattingly and his coaches were spending far too much time trying to control Yasiel Puig, trying to make him not be Puig. Stop being Puig and be this guy we want you to be, and you will realize your potential. Wrong approach for that particular player. We heard from time to time that Yasiel perhaps just needed the right guy to come along and help him out. And that's what happened with Turner Ward. Ward got Puig to open his eyes, abre sus ojos, see the ball, hit the ball. Sounds simple, but he got him to take his time, to chill out, and to calm down. And once that happened, the game slows down. Excuse the fire engines if you can hear them in the background. But anyway, Turner Ward got Yasiel to slow the game down, but still keep his personality and still be himself. You see that fun-loving Yasiel Puig out in the field, and you see him at the plate when he takes pitches or swings and misses. He'll even like pitter-patter his feet. He will sway his hips. If you saw that move before, he's just having fun out there, being himself, seeing the ball, and it's working. It's worked to make Puig the hitter that he is now. One thing that I was glad to see also that I think turned Puig around, but before we get there, let's do this. Let's get to a beer. But I want to talk a little bit about part 2 of what changed Yasiel Puig. But let's get a beer going, huh? Because it's hot in this bedroom. Here we are. Oh, I mean it's hot in my broadcast studio. Here we are. We're going to try a gluten-free beer today. I know some of you folks out there are on gluten-free diets, and maybe sometimes you miss out on having a good beer just because you can't find gluten-free, or you can't find a gluten-free that you like. So we're going to test this one today. This is called Glutenberg American Pale Ale. So let's crack this, and then we'll talk about part 2 of what changed Yasiel Puig. Here we go. Let's try this out, shall we? Some folks love the sound of the crack of the bat, which is pretty good. I like that myself. But this isn't a bad sound either. Holy cow. It shot off a little drop onto the camera there. But the show must go on. So here we go. Let's try this out. I've got an immediate big smell out of this beer coming out of the can. This Glutenberg American Pale Ale. This is 5.5 ABV. It's an interesting smell. Kind of washes away quickly though. The smell was big at first. Now it's very, very light. I almost have to get my nose closer to the beer with every sniff. I can't quite place what I'm smelling. I think I'm smelling the malts in here. Let's try this out. It's dark gold, and let's have a taste, shall we? Gluten-free, not unpleasant, not bad. It's got a real sharp taste right on the very back of your tongue. It's got a little bit of some of that citrusy pine kind of taste on the back end of the tongue. This is a very interesting flavored beer. Oh, I had some citrus flavor. Grapefruit kind of wrapping around the sides of the tongue. That's a very interesting beer. Let's get to part 2 of what I think made Puig the hitter that he is today. A little bit of genius in Dave Roberts, the manager, batting Puig 8th. Now, when they first batted Puig 8th, it was a matter of can he work his way up the lineup. We know that classic baseball wisdom says your best hitters hit at the top of the order. Well, if Dave Roberts is anything, he's a guy that takes classic baseball wisdom and often turns it on its head. And here's where he did that. He put Yasiel in the 8th spot because Puig wasn't necessarily hitting the ball very often, and he wasn't getting the clutch hits that you are looking for traditionally from a 3, 4, 5 hitter. He put him in the 8th spot, and Yasiel started hitting. He started out pretty well in the beginning of the season, and he actually did move Puig up. and Puig started faltering. I think the falter wasn't because he moved him up. I think it was just because Puig had this attitude in the beginning of the season. You might remember a quote of his where he said, "Hit the ball in the air and I put money in my pocket," something like that. Well, he had a little bit of success with that in the beginning, and then he just kept trying to hit everything in the air, and he just started flying out. So Puig moved back down to the number 8 slot, and he worked some more with Turner Ward on that patience, on that recognizing of pitches, and on hitting the pitches that they give you, and realizing that line drives are just as good sometimes as those big deep flies. And Puig started hitting balls that weren't always home runs, but started becoming clutch hits. Now, Roberts didn't move him, and Puig kept hitting pretty well. The beauty of this is that the Dodgers lineup also at the same time started becoming so red hot and started becoming such a murderer's row that when you got to the 7 batter, often Yasmani Grandal, when you got to 7, you weren't done. You weren't getting a lousy hitter. You were getting Yasiel Puig in the 8 spot. And Puig wasn't in those high pressure situations like a 3 and 4 batter. So that helped him cool down and chill out a little bit also. That aided his success, and Puig started picking up the big hits in the 8 slot. Now that really lengthens the Dodgers batting order. Behind him, you've got a pitcher, but you'll also have pinch hitters. So that means that lineup goes Grandal, Puig, pinch hitter, of which we know the Dodger pinch hitters coming off the bench are very good this year. And so you've got just a murderer's row that pretty much runs the gambit until you get to Forsythe, and then you kind of skip around him, and then it starts getting good again. So that's a pretty good Dodgers lineup. Yasiel Puig is giving us a very, very good season. I'm happy to see it. As a matter of fact, I predicted at the beginning of the year in my top 10 predictions. Go look it up on LADodgerReport.com. My top 10 predictions for the season were, one of them was that Yasiel was going to have a breakout season, and it looks like it's happening. This here is working like a breakout beer. That sharp flavor on the back of the tongue, and the grapefruit kind of sneaks up on you. It's kind of like an aftertaste, and not a sharp, big grapefruit flavor if that's not your thing. It's really subtle, and it comes on like a slow, smooth aftertaste. Boy, I really like that. This is a good summer beer. Let's say it again. This is a good one for the summer. As a matter of fact, this won a silver award at the World's Beer Cup. Where's my camera? Can we get that? There we are. It won the silver award at the World's Beer Cup. So, if you're looking for a gluten-free beer, this is it, baby, right here. Glutenberg. And if you're looking for a hell of a number 8 hitter, Yasiel Puig is the man. All right? So, tomorrow, the Giants come to town. The lowly, lowly Giants. And so we're looking for the Dodgers to continue beating up on somebody. And I always love when they do it to the Giants. All right? So I'll talk to you again soon. I haven't seen a trade yet, but we're seeing trade talk. I saw today some trade talk about possible guys. Alex Verdugo is not in the lineup, and he's been talked about as possibly trade fodder. In my last video, I talked about Verdugo being trade fodder, in my opinion. So who knows? That may come to pass. Stay tuned to Twitter. Stay tuned to LA Dodger Report. And my dog agrees clearly. We'll see you next time. Peace.